Okay, so happy Saturday, everyone. Pray everyone is having a blessed weekend. This morning, I wanted to talk to you on destiny swapping. Wanted to talk to you on destiny swapping this morning. And is destiny swapping, is it possible for someone to swap destinies with you? Can someone steal your destiny? Can the enemy swap destinies with you? Now, I don't believe someone can swap destinies with you or someone can steal your destiny, okay? Because destiny is not a place, destiny is a position. So once you position yourself that you're going to do the will of God in your life, you are positioned in your destiny. No one can take that from you. However, though, I tell you what the devil does try to do, okay? I'm going to go over some scriptures here, and I'm going to tell you what he does try to do in order to steal your destiny, okay? I'm going to show you what he tries to do. So I'm going to read a few scriptures from 1 King chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 1. 1 Kings chapter 18, let's read verse 1. It says, after many days, the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying, go show yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. So we see here in verse 1 that Elijah is a man of God. Elijah is the man or the prophet whom God is with. Elijah is someone who hears from God. He's someone who's being used by God. He's God's prophet. Okay, so God gives him orders in verse 1 to go show himself to Ahab. And we know Ahab is the wicked king. He's married to evil and wicked Jezebel. So they are an evil, wicked couple. I guess we could say they are a match made in hell. Okay, so that was verse 18. So we see here that Elijah is the man of God. Elijah is the prophet or the man of God whom God is with. God's hand is on Elijah, okay? And he sends him to wicked and evil Ahab. Now, in your own time, you can study this whole chapter. There's a lot of meat here, okay? But I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I'm just going to pull some verses out of chapter 18. So we just read verse 1. So now let's go to another verse here. Now let's go to verse 17. It says, now when Ahab saw Elijah, Ahab said to him, are you he who troubles Israel? Verse 17, I'm going to read it again. So when Ahab saw Elijah, God's prophet, the prophet who hears from God, the prophet whom God is with, Ahab says to him, he calls out to him, are you he who troubles Israel? So what he's doing here in verse 7, he's trying to project a negative identity on Elijah. He's trying to project whom he really is on Elijah. He's the one who troubled Israel, not Elijah. Elijah is God's prophet. But Ahab and Jezebel, okay, they specialize in projecting identities on people that do not belong to them. They want to try to make the people of God seem like they're really not the people of God. They want to try to make you look like God really ain't with you. They will try to make it seem like you're really not God's prophet. Why? Because Ahab could have had this position, but because he got involved in evil and wickedness through his wife Jezebel, so now he has been separated from God, and now he is envious towards those whom God is with. So now he tries to project this evil and wicked identity on Elijah, saying, you are the one who troubles Israel. He's releasing a lie out of his mouth. He's releasing a false accusation out of his mouth against Elijah. You trouble Israel. You are a troublemaker. You are wicked. And these are all of the things Ahab is. So Ahab and Jezebel, they are the masquerading spirits that specializes in projecting identities on people that do not belong to them. And this is how they try to swap your destiny or switch your destiny. Okay, they do it through lies. And we know who is the father of lies, right? They are doing the work of their father, the devil. So people who try to project negative identities on you that do not belong to you, they are doing the work of their father, the devil. Okay, he was a liar there is no truth in him. Okay, so this is one way that the enemy tries to destiny swap by projecting identity on you that does not belong to you. He tries to project who he really is on the people of God because he's lost that position. He's lost that place in his life. So now what they try to do is they try to project who they really are on other people of God, the true people of God, the people whom God is really with, the people whom God is using. They try to project a negative identity on them, a wicked identity on them, an evil identity on them that does not belong to them. Okay, so this is one way that the enemy tries to swap people's destiny. Now, let's go to verse 18. It says, Elijah replied, I have not troubled Israel, but you have, and your father's house, by forsaking the commandments of the Lord and by following the Baals, sexual immoral spirits. Okay, so Elijah responds back and says, no, I'm not the one who troubles Israel. You are the troublemaker. You are the one who has troubled Israel because you disobeyed the commandments of the Lord. So Ahab, he was once God's man, but he disobeyed the commandments of the Lord. He came in agreement with the evil works of his wife Jezebel. So now he's trying to project his wicked, evil identity on Elijah, God's prophet, God's man. But Elijah fires back and says, no, I'm not the trouble. I'm not the one who comes to trouble Israel. You are. And he tells him, because you have forsaken the commandments of the Lord and by following the Baals, by following devils, devil worshipers, by those who are in bondage, those who are living out sexual immoral lifestyle, sexual immoral spirits. And people like this, they will always try to project an identity on the people of God that does not belong to them. That does not, whenever you see people bonding together, banding together, ridiculing someone, slandering someone, releasing false accusations, lying, they are the masquerading spirits of Ahab and Jezebel, or Baal spirits, sexual immoral spirits. And they love to project an identity on those whom God is really with. That is not their identity, but it's the identity of the very people who are trying to project these false identities on the people of God. So the enemy cannot swap your destiny. Destiny is not a place. Destiny is a position. And as long as you are positioned to do the will of God, the enemy cannot take that, swap that, steal that from you. But he does try to project an identity on the people of God that does not belong to them, so that people won't believe in them. And this is how he attempts to, or tries to, swap their destiny. There are these sexual immoral spirits that are operating through so-called Christians. Okay, they are upset when they see God using people who are not bound by the things that they are bound in. And so these spirits that are influencing them, these spirits they are in agreement with, that influences them to project identities on people that does not belong to them. But the enemy cannot swipe your destiny. As long as you are positioned to do the will of God for your life, destiny is not a place, it is a position. Okay, but this is nothing that you have to fear. It happens to all of us, but the Lord will speak for us. Study this verse, this chapter, 1 Kings 18, and see how this all plays out, okay? But I just wanted to come to you today and give you a little nugget about destiny swapping. And is it really possible? No, the devil cannot swap your destiny. Nobody can take your destiny. Nobody can go pay a witch to try to steal your destiny from you. You are positioned in destiny. That can't be taken from you. But they do try to project identities on you that does not belong to you. But even that is not going to work. Because if you are positioned in your destiny, God will fight for you. Okay? God will fight for you. So it's nothing to fear. So I just wanted to come on here and share this nugget with you all on this Saturday. And I pray that you all have a blessed